So, I just got to see what is probably the most shocking movie of the year, and the reason why I'm calling it a shocking movie, because it might just be the best movie I've seen this year so far. I can't believe that. As a certified Marvel hater and somebody who has not really enjoyed a comic book movie this entire, decade, I am shocked at how much I actually love this movie. A movie that was really not on my radar at all and that I thought was going to be awful, like everything else Marvel has produced the last 5 years. So I just got to see the Thunderbolts. This is the brand new MCU film, the cap of Phase 5 of Marvel, which is leading us into Phase 6, which is going to be the big Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars phase. And it's essentially Marvel's answer to Suicide Squad. It's about 10 years late from that first Suicide Squad movie that made a ton of movie, but what Thunderbolts is a bunch of the B-rated superheroes, or really super villains, who are coming together and joining up as a team to fight some other big bad force, because the main Avengers and the A players are not available. It's that concept of these guys who have never really been good guys, learning to be good guys. You get a cast of characters who are all so much fun, a lot of characters that we're very familiar with, a lot of characters who have never really gotten their chance to shine in the MCU, and what you have here is a really, really great, fun action movie that actually has some rock-solid themes, and it has something to say about those themes. There are some really creative ideas here, and I had so much fun with this movie. First things first, the cast. The main character of this movie is undoubtedly Florence Pugh's Yelena, aka the brand new Black Widow. Now, we've gotten to see a little bit of her in Phase 4 and Phase 5 of the MCU. Of course, in the Black Widow movie, which I was not a big fan of, she was a standout. She is an absolute star in that film, and just in pretty much everything she does, Florence Pugh's the best. She was also in Hawkeye, and anytime she's shown up in something, she really has been a standout of this new Marvel era. So seeing her essentially get her own movie, this kind of is a Black Widow 2, a Black Widow standalone with a bunch of other characters. She is excellent and is able to carry the weight of this film completely on her shoulders, even though she doesn't have to, because I'll get into the other talent here in a second. If this film was just her, it would be enough. She's so good here. Sells the action, sells the themes of this mental health study that this film is doing, and I absolutely loved every second of what she was doing in this film. But we do have some other Thunderbolts, some other characters in this thing. Of course, Sebastian Stan as Bucky is back. I don't know if this is a standout performance or standout sort of a Winter Soldier project for him. I definitely think he is more memorable in other things, but he is still Bucky. He is the Bucky we all love, and if you want more Bucky, there is more of him here, and I thought he was fine. Wyatt Russell is here as the U.S. agent. Of course, he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love Wyatt Russell. I'm a huge Wyatt Russell fan. I enjoyed his character in that show, and I'm glad and happy to say he's even better here. I love what he did here. He's actually a lot funnier than I thought Wyatt Russell could be as this character, just being an asshole. And I think he was a really good fit as this character. Ghost is back from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Completely forgot about that character in this movie. She's great here. I love her powers. They're very creative and unique with how they use her powers, and there's more depth to her character than we originally thought. I think she's the one that gets the least amount. She's really just there. She talks a lot. She has a lot of screen time, but they don't dive too much into, her traumas and her past and how she connects to the themes of the movie. I wish they had done a little bit more. It feels like they probably did, and it was cut on the cutting room floor, but I liked her. Taskmaster's here. Not gonna talk about that one. Wow, Marvel. Probably the biggest L of the movie is what they did with that. David Harbour's here playing the Red Guardian. He's another massive standout. It's very easy to write him off as the comic relief. He very much was that in Black Widow, but he's just got so much fun energy in this movie and in this character, and his relationship with Yelena is amazing. Another massive standout in this movie is Lewis Pullman, who's playing Bob. And I'm not gonna say anything more about him, I guess, because his character and the discovery of who he is and what he is, and I know a lot of people who are watching the movie are going in knowing who he is, but just in case you're not, I won't say anything else. But who he's playing and the things he goes into and the sort of themes that play into his character are so brilliant, and this was the standout performance of the movie outside of Florence Pugh. Lewis Pullman kills this thing. He is unbelievable here. This is it's not going to be an Oscar role, right? He's not going to get nominated for this, but if you are going to nominate somebody for a superhero movie, this is one of the stronger performances I've seen from a comic book film. There's a lot of depth there. He has to play a bunch of, honestly, different characters in this one character, and I loved it. I loved every single second of screen time he had, which is shocking that this role wasn't actually meant for him. This role was written for Steven Yeun. And although I'm pretty confident Steven Yeun would have done a damn good job of it, I can't picture what that would have looked like in my head, because Lewis Pullman does such a good job here that, I don't know if Steven Yeun could have done it as good, or it would have had to be radically different. Well, no, this role is written for Steven Yeun, with how many times the character says different things like, "I'm supposed to be." That's not possible, because I'm Like, it happens like 4 or 5 times in this movie, and it's very obvious. The whole basic arc of this story is all these characters come together because of circumstances set on by this character Valentina, who we've been seeing throughout the first, last couple phases of post-Endgame MCU. She's essentially Amanda Waller, except not Amanda Waller. Her character is honestly my least favorite part of this movie. Although she's having a lot of fun in this role, it does feel very, out of place at times. Like, I can't buy into the idea that this woman is this tough, powerful person that people are terrified of and all these powerful people listen to. Like, it's never sold in the film for me. I just feel like she's more of a joke than anything else. It doesn't feel like Amanda Waller, who literally you see Viola Davis for 1 second and you're like, she's a badass, I get it. But Val essentially brings these people together through circumstances, and they have to team up to fight a threat. And I'm not going to go much more into it than that, but the film is very much a study on mental health and loneliness and sadness. All of the characters in this movie have done some really bad things, and because of those things, have found themselves to be very much alone, and they are living a lonely existence, which has made them miserable. And the idea of coming together and finding other people who have also done the same types of things and live the same kind of lives, having those people in your life with you on an everyday basis could be the fix to your problems. It could be the guide to some sort of purpose, and it is a beautiful theme, and how they explore it in the third act specifically with this weird dimensional stuff, I thought not only was visually amazing, but was such a unique idea for a third act of a comic book film. It would have been very easy to do a gigantic third act of action where they're fighting some big bad threat and the city's getting blown up and it's epic and awesome. But they decided to do something much more thematic and story. There is action here, but it's something stronger. It's a character-based sort of conflict in that third act that every character felt like they needed to be there. There's not a character in this film, especially in that third act, where I feel like they don't belong in this movie. They're here just because Marvel needed to do something with their character. Everybody feels needed, and they feel like they get a moment to shine in that third act, and I thought it was brilliant. And I know a lot of people, that third act is going to make or break this movie. A lot of people are going to love it. A lot of people are going to feel a little bit, I guess, underwhelmed by it. I thought it worked, and is one of my, if not my favorite third act of any Marvel movie ever. I also love the comedy in this movie. I shit on Marvel comedy more than anybody, and although there is a lot of normal Marvel comedy in this film, something about it just feels different here. It doesn't feel like they're selling these jokes like I'm a 5-year-old kid. It feels like these characters are adults. These are grown-ass people, and the comedy that is coming from their mouths and the jokes that are happening feel more normal and organic than they would normally feel in a Marvel film. It doesn't feel goofy and too James Gunny. Shout out James Gunn, I love you, but your comedy sucks sometimes. It's not colorful and overly CGI. This film feels much more grounded. It feels as close as you could possibly get to like that 2008 Iron Man feel in modern day MCU terms. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to recapture that grounded, lower budget feel, but this is the closest they've been in a very, very long time. And the film balances its comedy versus its seriousness well. There's a lot of emotional themes here. There's moments that damn near made me cry. There are moments that damn near made me cry of laughing. Like, it does it so much better than any recent MCU project. And I'm just blown away at how it took Marvel so long to figure out, like, this is the formula. A film like this, with characters that people love, interacting with each other, characters from other projects coming together. The theme of this movie is coming together. That fixes everything. And now Marvel, I think, has learned, I think the way to fix our problems is to stop isolating our characters. Let's bring them together out of their loneliness. Let them team up and do some cool shit with good writing, and that'll bring the fans back. It was nice seeing a packed theater for this. It was nice seeing the reaction everybody had to this film. This is the first time in years where I almost want to say Marvel might be back. Listen, I know it's early, and we've had moments where we said that No Way Home, Marvel's back, Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel's back. But those movies were ginormous franchises. It would be almost impossible for a Deadpool Wolverine movie with Hugh Jackman to be a failure. It would be almost impossible for No Way Home to have been a failure in the position that it's in. Thunderbolts feels different because this is a property that nobody's ever heard of. Nobody knows what the Thunderbolts are. These are characters that are not exactly the billion-dollar box office smashing characters that Marvel has put out in the past. This is a new crew, a new vision with directors that aren't exactly well known, and it's a slam dunk. This feels like 2014 Guardians of the Galaxy. That drops and it blows up a brand new franchise and launches Marvel into the stratosphere. That's what this feels like. I hope this movie makes money. I hope this is the start of something better for Marvel and not just like a flash in the pan right before Fantastic Four ends up being a giant disaster. But with this movie being amazing, Fantastic Four up next, Avengers Doomsday after that, Spider-Man after that. Like, it seems like Marvel may have found its stride again. I don't know, we'll see. But I absolutely loved this film. If I do have to nitpick some stuff, I didn't really love Val. I think the fact that they're called the Thunderbolts and they didn't find a way to connect that to Thunderbolt Ross and Harrison Ford, who they have available. I don't know, maybe he just didn't want to do this film. But the fact that they didn't build a connection there, I thought was strange, because I think that's why they're called the Thunderbolts in the comics. I think the after credit scenes are great, by the way. Not going to talk about them, but they're excellent. Probably the best ones they've produced in years. And overall, this is a phenomenal, phenomenal Marvel film that if you've been checked out on Marvel for years, please go give this one a shot. I absolutely love this film. And like I said, I'm a certified Marvel hater. I'm gonna give Thunderbolts a 4.5 out of 5. Almost my first 5 out of 5 for the year, but I gotta calm down a little bit. It's still just Marvel. Can't get a 5 out of 5, man. I'm saving it for Mission Impossible in a few weeks. That's gonna hopefully be a 5 out of 5. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more notifications. I'll see you in the next one.